During a school play, Barbara Covett, a veteran teacher at a British school, notices that her colleague Sheba Hart is taking a long time to appear on stage. Driven by curiosity, she decides to seek her out. What Barbara witnesses would change the course of their lives. Looking out of a classroom window, she sees Sheba in a highly compromising situation with a teenage student of just 15 years old. Shocked, Barbara watches in silence as the boy leaves and Sheba recovers. Not knowing how to react, Barbara decides to confront Sheba directly. In a private meeting, she accuses her of having crossed legal and moral boundaries. Initially resistant, Sheba ends up confessing. It all started in a seemingly innocent way, with gestures of admiration from the young man. He scored goals for her, drew her portrait, and spent long hours after class. A casual gesture of affection that quickly evolved into an inappropriate relationship. The young man, identified only as Stephen, is said to have told Sheba emotional stories, that he was suffering from domestic violence and that his mother was dying without a kidney transplant. Moved, Sheba agrees to meet him in secret, where a kiss seals the beginning of a forbidden relationship. Later, she begs Barbara to keep everything a secret until the end of the year. Seeing an opportunity, Barbara demands that Sheba end the affair and tell her husband the truth by Christmas. Despite her promise, Sheba continues to see the student, hiding him in her studio. During this time, Barbara experiences a painful personal loss. Her cat becomes seriously ill. Shaken, she turns to Sheba for comfort, proposing an activity that quickly becomes uncomfortable and intimate. When Sheba backs down, Barbara realizes that she has lost control of the situation. A revealing phone call soon confirms that the affair with the student is ongoing, and Barbara confronts Sheba coldly and threateningly. Faced with the pressure, Sheba finally decides to end the relationship. She goes to the young man's house, where she finds his father, a kind man, very different from the abusive figure described by his son. The truth comes out. Stephen had lied. Nothing about his mother's illness or the abuse was real. To him, it was all just a game. Devastated by the betrayal, Sheba seeks support from Barbara, who takes her in as a confidant and silently nurtures deeper hopes. But the fragile harmony is broken again when Barbara alone has to deal with the death of her cat. While seeking comfort, she finds Sheba leaving with her family for a school event. Feeling abandoned, Barbara confronts Sheba with harsh words. Days later, a coworker visits Barbara and confesses to being in love with Sheba. In response, Barbara reveals that Sheba was involved with a student, coldly spreading the secret. The news explodes. At the next dinner, Stephen's mother storms into Sheba's house in a rage and physically assaults her. In front of her children, husband, and Barbara, the scene becomes a public spectacle of shame and violence. Sheba is removed from school, while Barbara is questioned by the principal, who suspects that she had known about the affair for months. Under pressure, she agrees to quietly retire. It also turns out that another classmate had filed a restraining order against Barbara in the past. Sheba, now isolated and broken, moves in temporarily with Barbara. For Barbara, this is the best month of her life, a period in which she mistakenly believes that she has finally achieved what she always wanted: Sheba's undivided attention. But the illusion abruptly ends when Sheba finds pages from Barbara's diary in the trash, revealing that she was the one who reported the affair to the school. In a tense confrontation, Sheba assaults her and breaks off their relationship. Sometime later, the media reports that Sheba has been sentenced to 10 months in prison. There are rumors that she may have reconciled with her family. This film starred Judi Dench and Cate Blanchett and was nominated for 4 Oscars. A notable curiosity is that the film's music was composed by Philip Glass, a renowned minimalist composer who was also responsible for the soundtrack of The Hours, 2002. His music contributes in a visceral way to the film's climate of psychological tension. What I would never do is hide or use a case of abuse as a way to manipulate someone. I would immediately report it to the school authorities and the police, because the duty to protect minors always comes before any personal relationship. Something I found interesting is the way the film portrays loneliness and obsession, especially through the character of Barbara. It is brilliantly disturbing. Her behavior is reminiscent of manipulative figures in thrillers like Gone Girl, 2014, where the line between villain and victim is carefully blurred. And do you think Barbara believed she was saving Sheba, or was she using the situation to satisfy her own repressed desires? Tell us in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video so you don't miss any new videos. And for those who are new, you can't miss checking out the channel's videos. I guarantee they are incredible.
And I gotta tell you, it was perfect. Perfect.